I'm fully aware of the situation developing in Japan, and I'm going to talk about it on a live stream. But on my main channel, I would like to talk about something else that I find concerning. I need to be a journalist, right? Hashtag concern. This is what journalists do all the day. They're concerned. Japan will begin locking people up for online comments. Now, I usually try not to talk about issues from countries whose culture I do not fully grasp. I may like anime, but I do not understand Japanese culture. Haven't lived there. There's the language barrier. But what I do know is that this is concerning because it does show a trend. We are moving more towards safety and we are moving away from liberty. And of course, this will affect me because it may potentially affect my anime, goddammit. And my video games that come from Japan. I do not want a culture of safety in Japan. They need to keep having a culture of freedom, especially freedom of expression. Now, the concept of online bullying, absolutely ridiculous. Like, turn that shit off. And usually these type of laws, at least here in the West, they do not prevent the worst type of actual online bullying, which is when people try to mob you and get you fired. So they start calling their boss, they do all these harassment campaign, contact the sponsors type of thing. You can't turn the PC off in order to avoid that, right? And for some reason, like all the TOS and all of that doesn't prevent that from happening. Like the actual bullying that matters isn't getting prevented. But little Lisa was told by little Stephanie that she has stinky breath and now she's crying and that is online bullying. In Japan, posting online insults will be punishable by up to 1 year in prison. Okay, so what I don't understand is why do they consider this problem to be this severe? Like, it requires such a huge punishment. Even in United Kingdom, you do not have this level of strictness. Individuals guilty of internet insults may be fined $2,200. And previously, the penalty consisted of less than 30 days in prison and a maximum fine of $75. So, okay, well, I guess the headline is a little bit clickbaity. What they are trying to say is that you can go up to 1 year in prison, but probably you're going to get a fine. I'm curious, though, like the type of cyberbullying that would result in 1 year in prison. Like, I would think maybe when you say something that ends up with the person killing themselves, but even then, like, that would probably fall under a different law. It would be like instigating to suicide. Like, from what I know, most countries criminalize that type of thing. So, like, for example, in my country, you can go to prison for that. So you wouldn't need this additional regulation. In 3 years, the law will be re-examined to determine its effects on freedom of expression, a point expressed by the bill's proponents. So I love the fact that at least they care about freedom of expression, and they are somewhat concerned about it. In the West, like if it was in Canada or in the United Kingdom, they wouldn't even consider the concept like freedom of safety, and only the government, the father government, Big Brother, can provide the safety. Now, what's interesting, and this is something that I noticed, is that there is no criteria of what constitutes an insult. So if there's no criteria of what constitutes an insult, this law doesn't have any meaning. Because, yeah, I mean, calling someone a poopy head, is that an insult? What if you actually talk about a woman of low moral fiber, who actually is a woman of low moral fiber, like her profession is to go out at night and have intercourse with various men in exchange for cash. Like, that is her profession, and you call her that online. Is that an insult? What if it's a person that's short, and you call them short? Right? So, this is the problem that the lawmakers in Japan are going to be facing with, especially the judges, because at one point, like, someone is going to, I assume, go to the authorities and go, wah, wah, little Billy, under the alias Skullfuck47 has said disparaging things to me on Xbox. I demand the government make it right. And little Billy is going to have to appear in front of a judge and say, well, no, because what I said isn't an insult. Well, what if you're sarcastic, though? What if you're like, oh my god, you are so fucking smart, aren't you? You are a fucking Einstein. Is that an insult? So apparently, at the moment, even if someone calls the leader of Japan an idiot, then maybe under the revised law, that could be classed as an insult. I mean, again, I really hate these types of speech policing. Let's put it like that. Because at the end of the day, you know, the person has a level of dissatisfaction towards another individual. And you're saying they can't curse. But, like, the level of dissatisfaction is still there. Sorry about the Discord. Don't check your Discord, okay? It's not from you, it's from me. Officials in Japan campaigned for a crackdown on cyberbullying following the suicide of reality television star Hana Kimura, who had been a victim of online abuse. I mean, look, okay. So, what if the abuse happened in real life? Like, what are you going to do then? Are you going to put cameras on every street corner? Are you going to force people to wear a microphone so you can police their language? Why is the abuse online much worse than the one that happens in real life? When I grew up, I got bullied at school. Not like online, but like physically. It was horrible, right? But like, I wouldn't be okay, even when I was the victim. I wouldn't have wanted the camera on every corner. I wouldn't wanted the microphone on every colleague, just so that I would be protected. I mean, there is like the sacrifice that you do of your own personal freedom and privacy. After her passing, her mother advocated for more anti-cyberbullying policies. Some research indicates a correlation between suicide actions and cyberbullying, while the majority of studies have been conducted on children and teenagers. Again, I don't understand why this wasn't a problem before the internet. I mean, why didn't people get upset about suicides due to real life bullying? Like, are you telling me that online is worse than real life? There are additional laws in the United Kingdom that criminalize grossly offensive public comments and have been jailed and fined for tweets. Oh yes, by the way, I should make another video pointing out how in the United Kingdom, the rate of burglary has gone up, and apparently 90% of burglars are never caught. However, the police is very effective at catching people who have sent mean tweets. I mean, look, we live in new times. There are new crimes that need to be taken care of. I guess the more reactionary level of crimes that happened in the past no longer concern us, right? Anyway, right, let me know what you think. This is, in my opinion, a law that came from a moral panic. Hopefully, it's just like a thing to shut the activists up, but definitely not a good direction that I see Japan going. I don't think any other country has such steep fines and punishment for online abuse. And not only that, the way it's defined, like any type of insult. I mean, look, like human interaction requires insults. I'm sorry to say this, but let the person who has never sent an insult ever step forward, please, and please make your argument, because I don't know anyone. Like, I don't know a single human being that has never insulted another person. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.